If you're taking a common vitamin supplement that millions of people swallow every day believing it's protecting their health, what I'm about to share could save your life. Recent research has uncovered shocking evidence that this widely used vitamin, when taken incorrectly or in excessive amounts, can dramatically increase your risk of stroke, sometimes within hours of taking it. This isn't about creating panic or telling you to stop all supplements. This is about understanding a critical truth that could mean the difference between staying healthy and suffering a devastating brain injury that changes your life forever. As someone who has spent decades treating stroke patients and studying brain health, I can tell you that prevention is infinitely better than treatment. Strokes are the fifth leading cause of death and a leading cause of long-term disability. Yet, many are completely preventable when you understand the risk factors. What makes this vitamin issue particularly alarming is that most people take it with the best intentions, believing they're doing something positive for their health. Nobody expects that a supplement from their local pharmacy could potentially trigger a stroke. Today we're going to explore exactly which vitamin poses this risk, why it happens, who is most vulnerable, and most importantly, how you can protect yourself while still getting the nutrients your body needs. The vitamin that has shocked researchers and doctors alike is vitamin E, particularly when taken in high doses as a supplement. Now, before you dismiss this because you don't take vitamin E specifically, you need to know that vitamin E is hidden in many multivitamins, antioxidant formulas, and anti-aging supplements. Vitamin E is a fat-soluble antioxidant that plays important roles in immune function, skin health, and protecting cells from damage. In its natural form from food sources, vitamin E is beneficial and necessary for good health. However, high-dose vitamin E supplements, particularly those containing 400 international units or more, have been linked to increased stroke risk in multiple large-scale studies. This finding has stunned the medical community because vitamin E was long promoted as protective against heart disease and stroke. The mechanism behind this increased stroke risk involves vitamin E's effects on blood clotting. Vitamin E has natural blood-thinning properties, which sounds like it might be beneficial for preventing clots. However, when taken in high doses, especially by people already taking blood-thinning medications, it can increase the risk of hemorrhagic stroke. A hemorrhagic stroke occurs when a blood vessel in the brain ruptures and bleeds. Unlike ischemic strokes caused by blood clots blocking vessels, hemorrhagic strokes happen when blood vessels become too fragile or when blood becomes too thin to clot properly. Research published in the Journal of the American Medical Association followed over 14,000 male physicians for nearly a decade. Those taking 400 IU or more of vitamin E daily had a 22% increased risk of hemorrhagic stroke compared to those not supplementing. Another major study called the Women's Health Study found similar results in women. High-dose vitamin E supplementation increased hemorrhagic stroke risk, particularly in women over 65. What makes this especially concerning is how quickly the risk can manifest. Unlike some health risks that develop slowly over years, the blood-thinning effects of vitamin E begin within hours of taking a dose and can increase bleeding risk relatively quickly. The people most at risk are those already taking blood-thinning medications like warfarin, aspirin, clopidogrel, or newer anticoagulants. When vitamin E is combined with these medications, the blood-thinning effect can become dangerously excessive. Seniors are particularly vulnerable because they're more likely to be taking blood-thinning medications for heart disease, atrial fibrillation, or stroke prevention. They also tend to have more fragile blood vessels due to aging, making hemorrhagic stroke more likely if bleeding occurs. People with high blood pressure face additional risk because elevated blood pressure already stresses blood vessel walls. When combined with excessive blood thinning from high-dose vitamin E, the risk of vessel rupture increases significantly. Anyone with a history of bleeding disorders, easy bruising, or previous hemorrhagic stroke should be extremely cautious about vitamin E supplementation. They're already predisposed to bleeding problems. The form of vitamin E also matters. Natural vitamin E is labeled as D-alpha tocopherol, while synthetic vitamin E is labeled as D-alpha tocopherol. However, both forms can increase bleeding risk when taken in high doses. Many people don't realize they're taking high doses of vitamin E because it's included in multiple supplements they take daily. When you add up vitamin E from a multivitamin, an antioxidant formula, and perhaps a specific vitamin E supplement, the total can easily exceed 400 IU daily. The recommended dietary allowance for vitamin E is only 15 milligrams, which equals about 22 IU of natural vitamin E or 33 IU of synthetic vitamin E. Most supplements contain far more than this amount, often 10 to 20 times the RDA. Signs that you might be experiencing excessive blood thinning include easy bruising, bleeding gums when brushing teeth, nosebleeds, blood in urine or stool, or prolonged bleeding from minor cuts. If you experience sudden severe headache, vision changes, difficulty speaking, weakness on one side of your body, or loss of balance, these could be signs of stroke. These symptoms require immediate emergency medical attention. The irony is that getting adequate vitamin E from food sources provides benefits without the stroke risk. Food sources of vitamin E include almonds, sunflower seeds, spinach, avocados, and olive oil. These whole food sources provide vitamin E in its natural context, along with other nutrients that work synergistically. They don't cause the dangerous blood-thinning effects seen with high-dose supplements. A handful of almonds provides about 7.5 milligrams of vitamin E, nearly half your daily needs, without any stroke risk. Adding a tablespoon of sunflower seeds to your salad provides another 7.4 milligrams. The difference between food source vitamin E and supplemental vitamin E is profound. Food provides vitamin E in smaller, more balanced amounts that your body can handle safely. Supplements deliver concentrated doses that can overwhelm your body's natural regulation systems. If you're currently taking high-dose vitamin E supplements, don't stop abruptly without consulting your healthcare provider. This is especially important if you've been taking them for a long time, as sudden changes can sometimes affect your body in unexpected ways. Instead, schedule an appointment to discuss your supplement regimen with your doctor. Bring all your supplements, including multivitamins, so they can calculate your total vitamin E intake and assess your individual stroke risk. Your healthcare provider can review your medications, health conditions, and risk factors. They can determine whether vitamin E supplementation is appropriate for you and, if so, at what dose. For most healthy adults, getting vitamin E from food sources is sufficient and far safer than supplementation. The evidence simply doesn't support routine high-dose vitamin E supplementation for disease prevention. If you have specific health conditions that might benefit from vitamin E, such as certain eye diseases or Alzheimer's disease, work with your health care provider. Together you can find the lowest effective dose. Regular monitoring becomes important if you continue vitamin E supplementation, especially if you're taking blood-thinning medications. Blood tests can assess your clotting function and help ensure you're not at excessive bleeding risk. Beyond vitamin E, this issue highlights a broader problem with supplement use. Many people assume that because vitamins are natural, they must be safe in any amount. This simply isn't true. Fat-soluble vitamins, including A, D, E, and K, can accumulate in your body and reach toxic levels when taken in excessive amounts over time. Water-soluble vitamins are generally safer because excess is excreted in urine, but even these can cause problems in very high doses. The supplement industry is poorly regulated, and many products contain amounts far exceeding what's necessary or safe for most people. Just because something is available over the counter doesn't mean it's appropriate for everyone. Reading supplement labels carefully is crucial. Look for the amount of each vitamin and mineral, and compare it to the daily value percentage. If you're getting 100% or more of the daily value, you probably don't need additional supplementation. Be particularly cautious about supplements making dramatic health claims or promising miracle results. If something sounds too good to be true, it probably is, and it might even be dangerous. The best approach to nutrition for stroke prevention involves a balanced diet rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, and healthy fats. This provides all the vitamins and minerals you need in safe, absorbable forms. Managing blood pressure, controlling diabetes, maintaining healthy cholesterol levels, exercising regularly, and avoiding smoking are all far more important for stroke prevention than any vitamin supplement. If you're concerned about nutrient deficiencies, ask your healthcare provider for blood tests to check your actual levels before starting supplements. This targeted approach ensures you're only supplementing what you actually need. Your brain deserves protection based on evidence, not marketing hype or good intentions. The shocking truth about vitamin E and stroke risk is a wake-up call to approach all supplements with informed caution. Do not let a vitamin supplement that's supposed to help you become the thing that harms you instead. Take control of your health by making informed decisions based on science, not assumptions. Your future self, with a healthy brain and intact quality of life, will thank you for taking the time to understand these risks. Make wise choices about supplementation. The power to prevent stroke is largely in your hands through lifestyle choices, proper medical care, and smart supplementation decisions. Use that power wisely to protect the most important organ you have, your brain.